We were going to talk about how it's really cool seeing how quickly people can have a shift.
I know.
Like couples.
That is cool.
In the intensives we've been doing.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think it's especially when you think it's never going to happen, or which is kind of crazy too, because generally it does happen, but they come in typically very much attached to their story and their laundry list of woes, and you have to kind of ignore all that to a degree and just stick to the task at hand, stick to delivering the understanding.
What do you think the task at hand is?
Is to deliver the understanding.
But what's the understanding that you're delivering?
Is trying to get across how their partner is not responsible for how they feel inside, that they have to take dominion of their own thoughts and feelings, and yet that's a really hard nut to swallow. And so looking for all sorts of creative ways to deliver that information, to deliver that understanding, is actually quite fun. But quite often the client will have a very strong force field to repelling all arguments that I might propose to put forward in that direction. But eventually something, I find a little crack. It's not that I find a little crack. I think they crack out themselves.
That's right. You wear them down.
I wear them down, and then they have a little insight. Well, it's not that I wear them down. I just keep to the task at hand. I think that's what's so interesting. If I stick to the understanding and just stay on that tangent and just don't follow them into the weeds, which the weeds are them getting into their laundry list of woes, or they can go into their laundry list of woes and just don't really pay any attention to it, which sounds terrible.
It does sound terrible.
Well, I don't pay any attention to it in the sense that that's not my objective. My objective is to deliver understanding. And so they can go off on their tangent, but I'll stick to my task at hand.
And I see the task at hand. I don't see it so much as they have to take dominion over their thoughts and feelings. I see it more as them having an understanding so that they have a different relationship with their thoughts and feelings. So they don't have to manage them or change them, but they see them in a different way, so that they recognize that they are more than just their thoughts and feelings, that they have access to this greater source that's within them that allows them to write out whatever thoughts and feelings they're having more easily, and to recognize that the experience does come from within, not without.
Yeah, well said, yeah. I've been thinking a lot about that lately. I think that's new for me. This idea that, we go into sort of management mode of our feelings, and that just gets us more and more sped up. Like there's a sort of a lot of people, clients are looking for the proverbial magic bullet, and I guess that's really what we do when we go into management mode. We're looking for answers and solutions.
I want to feel better now.
I want to feel better now.
And with couples, it always looks like we'll feel better when our partner is different.
Exactly.
If only they were this way, then I'd be happy.
I know. The attachment to that. It's just so interesting to sort of see the attachment to that point of view be very compelling, and that they just cannot see another way until eventually they do. And that's what's exciting. That's when the shift takes place.
It is exciting, and it's exciting because it usually is just like a switch. It's just like, oh, they don't see it, and then all of a sudden they see it.
Yeah.
And there's freedom in that.
And sometimes they can't even articulate what they see.
But they feel it.
They do. It's good stuff.
It's fun.
It is fun. I had an interesting settling down experience the other day.
What's that?
I suddenly discovered online that I can now once again do the Evening Standard crossword, which I used to like doing in London when I lived there. And then I remembered that with the crossword puzzle, usually I get to a point where I can do most of it, and then there may be 5 or 6 clues. I just haven't got a clue what it is. And then I know that if I just leave it alone, forget about it, maybe even go back to it the following day, I might have a new perspective, have an insight, have an understanding what the clue is. And so that was kind of interesting because I did a couple of crosswords, and one was okay, and I did it, and there wasn't really much problem. But the next one I just couldn't do it. There was like 5 or 6 clues, as I say, that I just couldn't figure out, but I really wanted to figure out. It was kind of doing my head in. And I don't know, for whatever reason, my time to do the crossword is when I walk the dog over on the hill.
You do the crossword while you're walking the dog?
Well, when he's having a sniff around and I'm waiting for him to do a poo.
You're doing a crossword.
Yeah, I don't want him to feel like I'm standing there waiting, watching. It'll put him off. So I'll let him have a sniff around. Let him settle down. He needs to settle down to do his business. So I do the crossword. So I think I had about 3 nights where I just could not get the clues and figure them out. But I really wanted to. And so after 3 days of this, I woke up one morning. I said, "Wow, I feel like I'm in a really settled state of mind." And it suddenly went, "I should do the crossword now." And literally those 6 clues that I, for the life of me, could not do, I did within about 15 seconds flat. It was extraordinary.
Wow.
It was such a good validation of how with a settled state of mind, I'm a much more productive and vibrant human being.
Well, no wonder the dog can't do his business if you're that stirred up.
That's right. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I have to wait too long.
You need to be more settled around him.
It's like he's picking up the mirror neuron action.
He's a sensitive pup.
He is a sensitive pup.
Oh, that's great. It's a great example. And it's a great example of how when we are in that settled place, the answers kind of show up for us.
Yeah.
For anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very true.
Deep.
Deep.